Italians were seen running for their lives after a powerful storm surge, we have to say, tsunami style, has flooded the streets of Sicily. And guys, we're talking about Sicily because there's a volcano, Etna, that has been erupting. And the critical thing is, we know Etna could create a tsunami with probably a result like what we're seeing live right now in Sicily, boats in the streets. It's absolutely devastating, but it is not Etna yet, I have to say. If you want to know what's happening with Etna, it's sliding into the sea. The crack's already there. Check out the video in the end screen, because this is about something else. It's about Harry. It's Storm Harry. And you see it in the background while I'm talking, dramatic footage, how massive waves struck the Italian island starting Tuesday night. The Mediterranean was battered by this powerful storm, and the waves have submerged roads. They have washed out roads and pavement. We see that the sea foam seems to reach the ground floors and even upper floors of nearby buildings. So it's absolutely insane. This is an area, right? I have to be a little bit of philosophical here. If you're imagining you're standing on the edge of like the ancient Mediterranean, that's the sea you've known since antiquity, right? And only to see it explode towards you with white walls of water and foam and waves taller than a 3-story building smashing into these historic harbors, coastal roads disappearing under the churning waters, and air filled with the roar and the particles of the water and the wind and distant sirens. An apocalyptic scenario, we have to say. And really, the images that we see remind me of what we've seen after the Tohoku earthquake created the tsunami in Japan. Boats on land, and of course it's not that bad as it was in Japan, but for Sicily this is devastating. So everything we just talked about, it's not fiction, it's happening right now. Powerful storm system, known in meteorological terms as Cyclone Harry, has slammed into not only Sicily, into whole southern Italy and the major island of Sicily with, we have to say, ferocious force, guys. I mean, you see the images. I was shocked. And again, with all the AI crap that's out there, the fake videos, the fake YouTube videos and reports, you're careful, right? But it's real. So I've sorted through all the images and I'm showing you the real ones. Floods were triggered, storm surges, like violent seas and evacuations. Catania, entire coastal towns are under emergency alerts, and residents right now, they're bracing for more destruction. So we can say that in the past 48 hours, Sicily and the neighboring islands, their more smaller islands, have been battered by a deep, intense, low pressure system that is basically drawing warm, moisture-rich air from North Africa into the central Mediterranean. So if you want to describe it in meteorological terms, you could describe this as a stationary cyclone-like depression. It's technically, it's not a tropical hurricane, but it kind of looks like this, right? It's a storm with similar behavior due to the warm waters that are present in the Mediterranean in January at the moment. So what has this storm surge produced? Torrential, persistent rain that is already washing out roads and hillsides, cliffs. Hundreds of millimeters accumulating in vulnerable areas just about in a time frame of a day or two. The sea waves are up to, and listen to this, guys, this is tsunami territory. This is bad. 9 meters. We're talking nearly 30 foot waves. This is definitely what we're all fearing if there's larger earthquakes. So these waves are crashing against shorelines and into ports. So sometimes it just needs a storm and not a mega thrust earthquake or a landslide. again, if Etna's crack that is there slides into the sea all at once, we will have a tsunami triggered that could do the same thing into a widespread area into the Mediterranean. But right now we have gale force winds reaching really hurricane equivalent strength in some spots. And well, guys, we remember, and it was not even as bad as this, but we remember the sinking of the Bayesian yacht, that mysterious sinking of the luxury yacht. If you're interested in that, by the way, mysterious story, check out my videos. I'll put one in the end screen. The local civil protection agencies have issued the highest level of weather warning that there is, red alerts, this time not the volcano, right? Across Sicily and the neighboring Sardinia as well. So this is signaling to everyone this is the greatest danger to life and infrastructure that they could have. And again, the images speak for themselves. So the effects there have been multi-layered. We have flooding and evacuations. We have rivers, not only from the sea, rivers and urban drainage systems because of the rain have been absolutely overwhelmed. The streets in coastal towns like Lettoiani and Messina are rapidly submerged, forcing residents to flee three-story buildings as the water is flooding into homes and businesses. Absolute destruction. Hundreds of people have been evacuated from at-risk neighborhoods to safer shelters. And also the coastal damage. This is really, really bad. All these beautiful old buildings, historic piers and seawalls have been destroyed or at best severely damaged by relentless pounding waves. Roads that are linking the key towns have been eroded or cut off entirely, which is making rescue efforts very difficult, as you can imagine. We have disrupted transport as well, right? Flights at Palermo's Falcone Borsellino Airport and other regional airports were diverted or canceled when these powerful winds made landings absolutely unsafe. Ferry services, of course, right? Sea travel throughout the central Mediterranean has been suspended. The public services are under heavy strain, as we all can imagine. The schools have been closed across dozens of municipalities. We have emergency crews, including civil protection workers, firefighters, and volunteers that are on constant alert as the storm continues. And why is this Cyclone Harry? Why is Harry so intense? Well, as always, it's a combination of factors. We have a blocking high pressure system across much of Europe that is steering Atlantic weather systems right into the Mediterranean. And then we have an unusually warm sea surface that the temperatures are warm, right? And that feeds moisture into the storm's low center. And then, of course, the geographic setting of Sicily, mountains close to the coast that basically amplify the rainfall via an orographic lift that is happening there. So this creates somewhat, we can call it like a feedback loop in this area. Warm water and moist air escalate the energy of the storm in this area. Etna, the mountain, he plays part of that as well. So that drives heavier rain, soaked rain, and fiercer winds than typical for this region in January. So locals, they describe the scenes. They say it's chaos. They say cars are swept away by sudden water surges. Boats are inland. Families are scrambling for safety as their basement apartments and first-story apartments are flooding. Harbors, fishing boats lie like battered against the docks or even further inland. Harbors destroyed. And thankfully, the authorities have not taken these dangers lightly. Across Sicily, regional leaders have mobilized civil protection teams and emergency response units. They have ordered the evacuations in multiple towns. They have activated emergency operations in more than 200 100 municipalities. And the government officials are also considering to declare a formal state of emergency, and I think they have to. That would unlock national and EU disaster relief funds to coordinate the long-term recovery efforts that are definitely necessary. I mean, if you see these images, the storm is not yet finished, unfortunately. Meteorologists, oh Jesus, meteorologists, they warn that while the worst conditions may ease in the coming days, heavy rain and dangerous waves could continue, erode everything even further, and that challenges recovery, even when the skies begin to clear. So for now, Sicily stands in the balance, we have to say. We have the beautiful ancient cities, we have the modern communities. They both are bracing against the raw power of nature in full. That is what we have to say. I will keep you updated about this, guys. If you want to learn about the Doomsday Glacier in the meantime, check out the video on the end screen. I just released it. They have discovered earthquakes there. They are not tectonic. The glacier is producing them, and it has begun. The glacier starts doing the doomsday scenario that could have and will have big implications for the whole world. Check out the video in the end screen if you want to know what's above us. 3i Atlas, new mysteries every day, and so much more, guys. At best as you subscribe and hype and like this video, do me a favor. Thank you so much. Stay safe, be prepared. See you in the next one.